Anthony, tell us, obviously, how training camp has been like. I know you've been very much in solitude, focused on the task at hand against Caleb Plant. But, over the past, since I saw you during the kickoff press conference in late August, how has training camp been, and how much are you looking forward to your collision against Caleb Plant in 10 days from now?
It's been good. I know everybody says that their camp's been good, but my camp has actually been good. No injuries, getting rounds in every week. So I'm ready to go. If I could fight today, I would.
How would you compare this camp to other camps over the course of your career?
You really don't too much change things in camp. You change tactics and get game plans. That's pretty much it. But the camp is pretty much the same. You go in there, you work hard, and you give it your all. Like I say, camp has been the same. You just tweak things for certain opponents.
Do you feel, one thing about you is I feel like you perform better when there are more emotions on the table in a particular fight. I don't remember you being this animated or this, into a fight emotionally in recent memory. Is that something that's fair to say?
Sort of, kind of. I'm not even gonna say get under my skin because I don't let nobody get under my skin. He just one of those guys that I wanna really fuck up. I don't know if I can say that on here, but I want to fuck up. So, that's the task at hand, just getting there and fucking him up.
Now, not giving away your game plan, but where do you feel like you're going to be successful in the fight? Is it the fact that you're going to try to be more physical and really try to make it a very taxing fight on him to where you bring the fight and you close the distance and it's a very rough and tumble affair? You like mixing it up on the inside, no question about it.
Game plan, go in there and be the dog. If I can do that, I can win a fight for sure. Like I said, I'm just ready for this fight to be there already. I'm ready for me to get in the ring and have my hand raised at the end of the fight.
Do you like the fact of sort of putting yourself into this solitude and really secluding yourself from your family and your friends? Because I know that you're a very proud family man, and it's not easy to, take time away for 2 months at a time away from, your loved ones.
It's sacrifices. If you want to be great, you got to make sacrifices. If you don't want to be great, don't make a sacrifice. It's that simple. But I'm here. I'm training my ass off, and I'm ready for Caleb Plant.
Before I get to the medium, the one thing I want to ask, and we watched this on the PBC countdown shows and social media posts that you've had, is that you really have taken on to the game of golf. Is that a nice diversion from you? Some guys like to play video games. Some guys like to go and create music. I feel like golf is a really good diversion for you to sort of balance out the rigors of training camp.
I think golf is one of the toughest sports there is. Because you gotta get this ball into this little hole, and the hole can be 600 yards away, and you got to get that ball into that little hole with 5 strokes or less. So it's harder. It takes a lot of concentration, and you got to keep your cool because once you blow that fuse, it's the whole round go bad. One hole is just one hole, but a whole round is bad. But golf just gets me out of boxing for a minute, for that time being, that 4 hours. It gets me out of boxing. It has me thinking about something else. So I enjoy doing it. Does it get me frustrated? Yeah, like everything else. But you learn to adapt with that. You learn to fix your mistakes. Just like in boxing, you got to fix your mistakes on the go and keep moving and try to go as low as you can in golf.
Well, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to one of the members of our fine PR staff, Andrew Roberts. If the media has questions, make sure to raise your hand. And when we call upon you, unmute yourself and ask your question to the 2-time super middleweight champion of the world, Anthony Dirrell, as he prepares for his matchup against Caleb Plant. Andrew, it's all you.
Thanks very much, Ray. Our first question is going to come from Lori Hanshaw with Behind the Gloves. Lori, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Like you said, this is Lo with Behind the Gloves. You work really close with Sugar Hill Stewart. I just want to ask, what's it like working with him in camp?
I've been working with Sugar since I was 13, 14. Sugar is an A-plus trainer. Everybody knows that from what he did with Adonis, Tyson Fury. I got him looking, me. He's just an A-plus trainer. That's why a lot of people want to go to him now. So, but it's great. Sugar is one of the family members now, have been for years. So if you got somebody in your corner you can trust, it boosts your confidence a lot more.
Yeah, and then my follow-up question would also be, I know Sugar Hill, he's a fond fan of the knockout. So is that the plan going into this fight?
We'll see.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Lo. Our next question is going to come from Brandon Green with ABC 12 Mid-Michigan. Brandon, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Hey, what's going on, Anthony? I wanted to know.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. So for you, has retirement ever crossed your mind during this camp? Like, hey, this is going to be my last time going through all this.
Caleb Plant has crossed my mind. That's it. That's all I'm focused on right now is Caleb Plant. Everything else can wait until after the fight.
And then for you to keep on boxing, and we've seen everything that you've been doing charity-wise, having kids come over to your gym. So what does this mean to be on this stage and for the little Flintstones to see you still fighting and doing your thing?
Just mean that it's possible. Anything is possible. KG said anything is possible, especially when they won a championship. It just gives them motivation and fuel to want to do it if they're doing it or want to do anything they want to do. It just, a powerful message, me growing up in the city of Flint, in poverty, and just being great, being the best person I can be. And that's all I can be. And that's all that I want the kids in the inner city to be is the best that you can be. Give it your all. If you give it your all, nobody can complain with that.
Sweet. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Our next question is going to come from James Bell with the Boxing Source. James, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
All right there, Anthony. During your training camp, you had the statement of saying, hey, I don't care about Caleb Plant and I don't care what he says. If I go in there and fight up to my capabilities, I'll come out victorious for sure. Does that go into like how you've been performing in camp and also your level of experience being a 2-time super middleweight champion of the world?
It just goes that I know what I'm doing. I seen Caleb fight. He's a nice boxer, but I fought them kind of guys before. I sparred them guys. It's nothing. It's just another guy in front of me, want to defeat me.
And I know that, in our last conversation a while back that you had, moved over from the Detroit Flint area to over in Florida. So are you still trying to get used to that weather? Oh, you
never
did?
moved to Florida. No.
Okay.
Still in Michigan.
Still in Michigan. So you've been back and forth through both of them names.
No,
gotcha.
I come down here to train. I've been coming to Florida for years, 7-8 years. So I come down here to train and get away from the distractions and keep my cool and just focus on what I got to do and the task at hand.
Gotcha. Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Thank you, James. Our next question is going to come from Ismail Abdul Salam with Beats Boxing Mayhem. Ismail, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Thank you, Andrew. Anthony, one thing I noticed with the last fight with Caleb Plant when he fought Canelo, a lot of people in the media and just observers kind of lauded him for his heart and hanging in there. But I know you as a boxer, you have a different lens and different eyes. Did you see the same thing everyone else saw, or did you see something different as far as what you learned about him and his fighting spirit viewing that fight?
You said, what did he do in his fight? In the fight that y'all seen?
So in the Canelo fight, a lot of people lauded him, said he showed a lot of heart hanging in there. But I wanted to know from your perspective as a boxer with boxer's eyes, did you see the same thing looking at that fight and viewing it?
I don't know, man. I don't even know how to answer that. I mean, I guess everybody has their own opinion, but my opinion was, the first couple of rounds, he did what he was boxing good, but after the first couple of rounds, he got on this horse. He got on his bicycle and ran around the ring most of the time. I mean, everybody's seen that. If you didn't see it, you must have been blind, but the guy ran the whole time, moved the whole time.